what's really fun about this is that there's so many different settings, and you have an established set of characters, and you have a honestly limited amount of storylines that you could pursue and still maintain the Marvel formula of hero versus villain. And so by of course, great casting, bringing in great people to play as Tom's foil, but you also have a great backdrop and all these opportunities for wonderful set pieces. When what happens when you're using the web shooter in Venice and the structures aren't office buildings in Manhattan, but they're instead old world structures that might not have the same structural integrity. I like when they have a lot of comedy in it, because I think at the end of the day it's a mixture. You're going to have these big visual effects. You're going to have these huge stakes, and the fate of so many are in the hands of so few. And humor is a great way to help smooth all of that out and let an audience enjoy themselves. And that goes back to the books. That goes back to what Stan Lee did. And I think part of Marvel, a big part of Marvel, was the comedy. It was the humanity, the naturalism of the humanity of the flawed heroes. You had the villains who might have been misguided, but there was always a kernel of justification in what motivated them, and there was dimension to the villains, and then there was always the real world setting. I grew up, it was set in New York, and this one in Queens. It starts off in the neighborhood I grew up in. He goes to the school that's based on the school I went to, the high school, Bronx Science, and it was always, it felt real, and the humor felt real. The humor felt like it wasn't these gods up in the clouds. It was human beings dealing with these situations as anybody would if they found themselves in those circumstances. I'm getting to do stuff that I couldn't ever do if I was directing or worrying about all the things that the filmmakers are worried about. I get to just come in and say, where do you want me? What do I have to do in the scene? How can I help? And I find even as I cast directors bring a different energy, because they're looking at the big picture in a way of like, how can I be of service to this? How can I help you tell the story? And I think when I was just an actor, I didn't always understand that. But as a filmmaker, I really relate to the struggle that the filmmakers are going through, and I try to offer, once they identify what they're trying to fix or what the problem is or what their concerns are, I can address it from that perspective and hopefully bring a lot to the collaboration.